Listen carefully, this might be the only video that tells you the truth without trying to comfort you. Most people don't fail because they're not capable, they fail because they keep lying to themselves. They say they want success, they say they want respect, they say they want control over their life, but their actions say something completely different. You don't lack potential, you lack honesty with yourself. And until that changes, nothing else will. There was a man who understood this better than anyone, Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who had power, wealth, and responsibility beyond imagination, yet he spent his life mastering something most people ignore, his own mind. While the world around him was chaotic, his thoughts were disciplined. While others chased pleasure, he trained himself to endure pain. And that's why his mindset still inspires millions today. Because he understood a brutal truth: your life does not change when you feel better. Your life changes when you think better and act better. In this video, you are going to face 8 brutal truths, not the kind that make you feel good, but the kind that force you to grow. If you're someone who gets offended easily, this is not for you. But if you're ready to become mentally unbreakable, then stay till the end. Truth number 1, you are not tired, you are mentally weak. Let that hit you. Because if you were truly tired, you wouldn't have energy for distractions. But somehow, you can scroll for hours, watch content endlessly, laugh, react, engage, but the moment it's time to do something difficult, you suddenly feel drained. That's not physical exhaustion, that's mental resistance. Your brain is addicted to easy dopamine, and it rejects anything that requires effort. And the more you give in to this pattern, the weaker your mind becomes. Discipline is not about forcing yourself once, it's about training your brain to stop negotiating with discomfort. Right now, every time something feels hard, you look for escape. And that's exactly why your life isn't moving forward. The moment you stop negotiating, and start executing, everything changes. Truth number 2, you don't have a time problem, you have a priority problem. Everyone gets the same 24 hours, but not everyone gets the same results. Why? Because most people spend their time on things that don't matter, and then complain that they don't have enough time. Look at your day honestly: how many hours are actually productive, and how many are wasted without purpose? You say you don't have time to improve, but you have time to scroll, to watch, to distract yourself. The truth is, you're not busy, you're avoiding what matters. And avoidance feels comfortable, until reality hits you later. If something is truly important, you will find time. If it's not, you will find excuses. And right now, your excuses are stronger than your goals. That needs to change. Truth number 3, you are too comfortable being average. You say you want to be different, you say you want more, but your actions are exactly like everyone else. You wake up the same way, spend your time the same way, think the same way, and then expect a different outcome. That's not ambition, that's illusion. Average feels safe because it doesn't require risk, it doesn't require effort, it doesn't require discipline. But it also doesn't give you anything meaningful. The moment you decide to break out of average, you will feel uncomfortable, you will feel pressure, you will feel resistance. And most people quit at that stage, because they mistake discomfort for failure. But in reality, that discomfort is growth. If you want a different life, you have to accept a different level of pain. And if you're not willing to do that, you will stay exactly where you are. If you're not willing to do that, you will stay exactly where you are. And that leads to truth number 4, you are addicted to distraction. You don't realize it, but your mind is constantly looking for escape. The moment something feels uncomfortable, you reach for your phone, you open another app, you look for something easy. And slowly, this becomes your default behavior. You train your brain to avoid difficulty instead of facing it. And over time, your focus gets weaker, your patience disappears, and your ability to handle real problems drops. This is why you feel overwhelmed by small things. It's not because life is hard, it's because your mind is not trained to handle pressure anymore. Strong minds are built in moments of discomfort, not in moments of ease. And right now, you are choosing ease again and again. That's why you feel stuck. Because distraction is not harmless, it's stealing your future 1 hour at a time. Truth number 5, you care too much about what people think. This is one of the biggest reasons people never reach their potential. You hold back your opinions, you avoid taking risks, you delay action, all because of fear. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of being seen. But here's the reality, people are too busy thinking about themselves to care about you as much as you think. And even if they judge you, so what? Their opinion does not control your life, unless you let it. The moment you stop seeking approval, you gain freedom, freedom to act, freedom to fail, freedom to grow. And that's when your real potential starts to show. But as long as you depend on validation, you will always limit yourself. You will always play small. And deep down, you know you're capable of more. Truth number 6, you avoid pain, but pain is exactly what you need. Nobody likes pain. Nobody enjoys struggle. But pain has a purpose. It forces you to grow. It forces you to adapt. It forces you to become stronger. When you avoid pain, you avoid growth. When you avoid challenges, you avoid progress. And that's why your life feels the same. Because you're choosing comfort over development. Every time. But the truth is simple, you will face pain no matter what. Either the pain of discipline, or the pain of regret. One is temporary, the other lasts a lifetime. And most people don't realize this until it's too late. They waste years avoiding discomfort, only to end up in a place they never wanted to be. And by then, the regret hits harder than any struggle ever could. So the question is, what kind of pain are you choosing right now? So the question is, what kind of pain are you choosing right now? Because whether you accept it or not, your life is already being shaped by the choices you make every single day. And that brings us to truth number 7, you don't lack motivation, you lack structure. Most people wait to feel motivated before they take action. They think one day they'll wake up feeling ready, focused, driven. But that day never comes. Because motivation is temporary, it comes and goes. And if your life depends on something unstable, your results will always be unstable too. That's why disciplined people don't rely on how they feel, they rely on systems. They wake up at the same time, they work at the same time, they follow routines even when they don't feel like it. Because structure removes decision fatigue. It removes excuses. It forces action even when your mind resists. Right now, your problem is not that you don't know what to do. You already know. Your problem is that you don't have a system strong enough to make you do it consistently. And until you build that, nothing changes. You will keep starting, and stopping, again and again. And every time you stop, you lose confidence in yourself. That's why structure is power. It turns small actions into long-term results. It turns effort into identity. And once you build that identity, you don't need motivation anymore. You become the kind of person who just does what needs to be done. Now think about your current life. Is it built on structure, or is it built on mood? Because if your actions depend on your mood, you will always lose. Your mood changes every day. But your goals don't. And that's the conflict. You want consistent results, with inconsistent effort. That doesn't work. And deep down, you know it. That's why you feel frustrated. Not because you're incapable, but because you're not aligned. Your intentions say one thing, your actions say another. And that gap is where your confidence gets destroyed. Because every time you say, I'll do it, and then you don't, you weaken your trust in yourself. And once self-trust is broken, everything becomes harder. You start doubting your own ability. You hesitate. You overthink. And slowly, you stop trying at all. That's how people become stuck. Not in one big failure, but in small repeated inactions. And the only way out is through discipline. Not extreme discipline, just consistent discipline. Doing the basics, every single day, without excuses. And that leads us to the final truth, truth number 8, you are the problem, but you are also the solution. This is the hardest truth to accept. Because it removes every excuse you have. You can't blame your past, you can't blame your situation, you can't blame other people. Because at the end of the day, you are responsible for your actions. And your actions shape your life. But here's the powerful part: if you are the problem, then you also have the power to change everything. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need the right moment. You don't need approval. All you need is a decision. A decision to stop lying to yourself. A decision to stop avoiding discomfort. A decision to start acting, no matter how you feel. Because change doesn't happen when you think about it, it happens when you act on it. And most people never reach that point. They keep waiting, keep planning, keep consuming, without ever executing. But you're still here, which means you're different. Which means a part of you understands this. So don't ignore it. Use it. Start small, but start now. Fix your routine. Control your time. Remove distractions. Do what you've been avoiding. And keep doing it, even when it's hard. Because that's where transformation happens. Not in comfort, but in discipline. And if you can master that, nothing in your life will stay the same. Nothing in your life will stay the same. And this is where everything either changes for you, or stays exactly the same. Because now you know the truth. You know what's holding you back. You know what needs to be done. But knowledge alone means nothing, if you don't act on it. This is the point where most people fail. Not because they didn't understand, but because they didn't apply. They watch videos, they feel motivated, they agree with everything, and then they go back to the same habits. The same routine. The same excuses. And slowly, that spark fades away. But if you're still listening right now, this is your chance to be different. This is your moment to break that cycle. Because everything you want, respect, confidence, control, is on the other side of discipline. Not motivation. Not luck. Discipline. And discipline is not something you're born with, it's something you build. One decision at a time. One action at a time. Every time you choose to do what's hard instead of what's easy, you build it. Every time you control your impulse, you build it. Every time you follow through on your word, you build it. And over time, these small actions create a version of you that most people will never become. A version that is calm under pressure, focused in chaos, and consistent no matter what. That's what being mentally unbreakable actually means. It doesn't mean you never feel pain. It means pain doesn't control you anymore. It doesn't mean life becomes easy. It means you become stronger than your problems. And that's the shift you need to make. Stop trying to change your life overnight. Start changing your habits daily. Because your habits are your identity. And your identity shapes your future. Right now, you have two choices. You can close this video, and go back to the same patterns, or you can take what you've learned, and actually use it. Because at the end of the day, no one else is responsible for your life. Not your circumstances. Not your past. Not other people. It's you. And once you fully accept that, you become dangerous in the best way possible. Because now, you stop waiting. You stop blaming. You stop hesitating. And you start acting. And when you start acting, results follow. Slowly at first, but then faster than you expect. And one day, you look back, and realize, you're not the same person anymore. That's the power of discipline. That's the power of self-control. And that's the level you're capable of reaching, if you stay consistent. So don't waste this moment. Don't let this just be another video you watched and forgot. Let this be the point where things start to change. And if you want more content like this, content that actually challenges you, pushes you, and helps you take control of your mind, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like the video, and stay connected. Because here, we don't just talk about change, we help you become it.